I think Mr. McStuffles had the right idea, but I don't fully agree with the message in this episode of Baby Looney Tunes. It's the first segment of the 21st episode of the first season, and very kindly, Granny and most of the babies are sorting out belongings to give to charity, and everybody's helping out except Daffy. And Daffy comes across Mr. McStuffles, and this is a toy he used to love. And Granny suggests he give it to charity, and Daffy Duck says no. And on the one hand, part of me thought he's just being stubborn, he just wants to keep it for himself, he refuses to give it away. But the other part of me thought there's a sentimental connection between Daffy and that toy, and it might mean more to him than just being an old raggedy toy. And Granny kind of was quite nasty. She refused to let Daffy play with other babies. For example, I think it was Petunia, correct me if I'm wrong, but Petunia was bouncing this bouncy toy, and Daffy said, we can play together, let's go outside, and he's about to go and have fun with Petunia, and Granny says, no, you have to stay inside and play with Mr. McStuffles. And that's really evil. That's horrible. Because first of all, she's forcing Daffy to be on his own. Second of all, she's suggesting that in order to keep his toy, he has to play with it constantly. And that's ridiculous. Now, I don't know for certain if Mr. McStuffles had sentimental value for Daffy or if he was just being stubborn. I could never make up my mind. Sometimes I saw glimmers of that sentimentality. Sometimes I just thought he was being stubborn. And I can't quite make up my mind. But the point is, if it's because he has an emotional connection to it, Granny's attitude was disgusting. And you should never force a child to play with a toy 24/7. What he did with Sylvester was quite mean and, not very nice. But at the same time, you don't play with a toy 24/7. And sometimes you may outgrow toys. Age-appropriate play is a way that, professionals monitor a child's development. And Mr. McStuffles was apparently not an age-appropriate toy for Daffy. But just because he no longer wants to play with it, it doesn't mean he wants to let go of it. A lot of fully grown adults still have their beloved, teddy bears or certain toys from their childhood. These fully grown adults aren't playing with their toys all of the time, but it doesn't mean they want to get rid of it. And I think Granny really overlooked that. But again, one could argue that maybe Daffy was just being stubborn. And he didn't want to get rid of it because he wanted to have it. He didn't want anybody else to benefit from it. And if that's the case, fine. But as I said, for about half of the episode, I was always thinking, no, it's a sentimental connection. He has fond memories of this. He's not yet ready to let go of that attachment. And if you force that attachment, that's heartbreaking and that's horrible. So the intention was good. Encourage children to donate their toys. It would have been so much better if Granny had said, fine, keep that, but go and find something else to donate. Or, fine, keep that, but maybe donate some of your pocket money, if they get pocket money or allowances. I don't know if they do, but that would have been a good episode to introduce the concept of an allowance and donating, money to charity. I don't know. But the point is, there are so many better ways that Granny could have handled this that she kind of fell out of my favour in this episode. I think she handled it very badly and forced Daffy to either play with the toy 24/7 or get rid of it. That was basically his two options, and it kind of annoyed me. But again, as I've said, if he was just being stubborn, he had a lesson to learn. But if not, then I feel like this is kind of cruel, and Mr. McStuffles as an episode is actually a little bit questionable.